So you can have a read of that if you want to have a look at what the examples are like. And what I'll do is I'll also send you a fully filled in one. Just one sec.
Okay, so this is basically a resume of what we did in the last stream.
Yeah, you'd add in whatever you did in each scrim. What I'm about to do is send you a screenshot of one of my other spreadsheets. I've had to blank out the team names and the notes but you'll be able to see it filled in with everything. And it allows you to track things like what maps you need to improve on, and what you need to look at in the long run.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go through what I see.
Yeah, no worries.
The map win rate percentage, it's okay, it's a formula that it calculates everything, but the improvements, what it is?
So if you scroll over to the far right, I've added a little key for you. And what you do is if you add that exclamation mark to any of the columns, it'll mark it for me to come back and have a look at what specifically on that map you need to look at.
Okay.
So it basically marks maps or games from specific scrims and maps that you want to look at and that you think really needs improvement. They're the highlighted ones essentially.
Okay.
If you open that screenshot, that's full basically. It goes further down. There's so many rows in that spreadsheet, but there's a bit of an example of what the filled in one would look like. And you can see, like at the top on that spreadsheet, we've got 3 that are marked, 3 improvements out. Like it is the highest for King's Row, so that would be the map that we would be looking at, basically going over in fine detail, similar to what we did on Lijiang the other week.
Okay. So generally, the map that we need to look to improve are the ones that we have lower win rate, or just in general?
Lower
the ones
win rate
that
and more improvements required.
Okay.
So we'll look at a bit of both basically and see which ones we feel like, based on what you filled in, need looking at.
Okay, so maybe even if we won, but we still feel like that we could have done more, or was too close for the average of the other team, maybe you can mark that as to improve.
Yeah, exactly. So if on that spreadsheet, on that screenshot, sorry, you'll see that there are some that are marked as wins, but with the exclamation mark to show that we need to look at it due to improvements. So yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it just means that when I can't attend a scrim, for example, I can come and question you on what's gone wrong, what you feel like, or even request the VOD if you've got one.
Okay.
Oh, this sounds fine.
So all it takes is one of you between maps just filling in a W, and at the start of a scrim block, you can just fill in the name of the team, the average, and the date.
Okay.
It doesn't take much work just to keep track of all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice, actually. We never did something like that.
Yeah, it's something that I kind of got used to doing, because it basically meant that on those scrims that I can't attend, I can still keep track of what you guys are doing and try and help on specific areas where I can identify from the stats. But I think you get all that now. So what I have also done is I've also created a few core compositions. There's another sheet at the bottom, another tab.
The one
core
that
compositions.
you put in the Excel paper.
Yeah, at the bottom of the Excel.
Yeah,
there's a core compositions tab.
The purple one.
Il terzo tab dal basso,
I just took a look today afternoon.
Yeah, I was in the middle. I had it all in a notepad. I thought, you know what, I'll just put it all in the spreadsheet. But so I've created a few example comps based on what you can play and what I want you to learn, essentially. So there's also a few notes for each of you if you want to read them individually, or we can discuss them right now if you'd prefer. If you do want to read them individually and you want to come and talk to me and ask questions, feel free. You've got my Discord anyway. That's where you'll find me all the time.
Okay,
Thanks.
So general note: me and Tushai are completely white, something to tell us?
Yeah. So most of your two's jobs at the moment are quite full. Essentially, you're doing more work than you should be doing. So what I'm trying to do is redistribute that. So we need to work on doing that first before I can then look at specific things for you guys.
Another note was that while I was playing the Zen role, I was doing the shot call and ult track because basically Francesco Sniper Fele was not really confident and good about it. So rather than have a partial or wrong information and for him to overthink about that and lose track of what he was doing with the character, I took the role and basically it will stick to me. But since it's a bit too much at the moment because I'm not mechanically good enough with anything beside maybe Zen and Zarya to keep track of ult and shot call while I'm playing, the ult track was moved to Helios and Nico because the two of them are the one that are more inclined to do it on their own. So they were already doing it, not communicating it, so we thought that they could just help each other and then communicate what ult they have. But Francesco probably really needs help and a lot of practice on doing the shot calls and ult tracking.
Yeah, that's fine. What this is these are the main notes that I want to go over. This isn't going to be something that we're going to fix in a couple weeks. It'll probably take a good month, 2 months, maybe even 3 to try and it's something that in the long term will improve the team as a whole.
Okay.
All of these things, these aren't specific per player, but more general things across the team that each player can do to improve, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also notice that we are not actually young. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Let's say that. So it might take some time for us to adapt.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm willing to work with you. That I understand that, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to improve you as a whole rather than just looking for a quick fix, so to speak.
Okay. I'm gonna translate it really quick to Francesco.
No problem.
Praticamente gli ho spiegato un attimino com'era la situazione, perché facevi lo shot call. Ho detto che non è una roba che ci metteremo 1 o 2 settimane a risolvere, ma probabilmente 2 o 3 mesi e che sarà un lavoro a lungo termine. Quindi di stare tranquilli e di far con calma.
Ma possiamo fare qualcosa per allenare questa cosa? Cioè, io ho il problema di non avere multitasking al cervello mentre gioco, perché poi al lavoro in realtà ne ho un botto.
Ok, adesso...
Però non... Cioè, io faccio fatica a parlare, devo prima pensare quello che dico e poi lo comunico, soprattutto quando poi sono concentrato a sparare.
Ok, adesso provo a spiegarglielo un attimino. Okay, so basically what he's saying that he's not really good at multitasking while playing. If he's focusing on shooting, basically it's just what he can do. He has to think about what he want to say and then say it.
Before to say it. So it took a bit of time and a bit of concentration about him. Maybe, I don't know if there's something that can help him training or some specific training or some help that we can do about it.
Yeah, if you have some exercise or drills or practice that might help him on doing this.
Make his work a bit easier.
I'll have a look at that sort of stuff, but what we can do is, if it's the multitasking that's going to be a problem, we can look at doing, so you already do your ult tracking and everything, but between those fights when you've not got as much to do, we could look at moving over the shot calling to Sniper Field.
Okay.
So do it a little bit at a time. It means that he's got something to think about between fights, and it gives him a little bit more time as well to think about that and communicate it with the team.
Okay.
So we can do it as a step by step, and then we could try him on ult tracking later on, and if it doesn't work, the team can do ult tracking, but the main thing is getting that shot calling across.
Ok. Praticamente se il problema è il multitasking, per il momento possiamo iniziare con l'ult tracking come facevo io, lo lasciamo a Nico e Elios in generale. e durante i fight, cioè alla fine dei fight, lo shot calling passa a te, così hai più tempo per pensare e dire le cose con più calma invece che direttamente.
Ma nello specifico cosa vuole che faccia?
Chiamare il piano.
Decidere.
Quando io dico a Donny cosa facciamo, dove
Lo
si
devo
va
decidere io?
Che ultimate sì, esattamente, che ultimate usiamo e come ingaggiamo, non ingaggiamo e cose del genere.
Ok.
All'inizio comunque ti si darà una mano, cioè non credere che...
Ovviamente. Sia Nico che io che Donny.
Va bene, va bene. No, vabbè, cioè...
Però se dici che il problema del multitasking si può fare mantenendo che più o meno tutto il team fa ult track e tu fai solo la parte di shot call.
Vabbè, ma oddio, cioè nel senso di contare le ulti mi veniva anche tra virgolette bene quando lo facevo negli Angry Ducks, perché poi non è che le sbagliavo più di tanto, anzi anche Joint diceva che negli ultimi perché mi sembrava un po' come contare le carte a scopa o a briscola, va bene come cosa. E il problema è quando dovevo esporre la cosa.
Beh, infatti ho detto...
E continuavo a dire perché
step by step negli off fight si lavorerà su questo. Per ora non ti preoccupare di tenere traccia alle ultime, ti iniziamo a lavorare su che cosa dobbiamo fare.
Di abitudine, anche all'inizio non ci riuscivo minimamente. Una ultimate alla volta, un fight alla volta, ce la si fa.
Tanto ribadisco quello che hai detto prima, un lavoro che non si farà in un mese ma in 2-3. Quindi non è una roba
siamo sempre qua ad
immediata.
aiutarti, fra.
Sì, chiaro.
Ok, no, per me non è un problema.
Ok.
So we can go on.
Basta che sappiate cosa andate incontro.
Probably the most important part is the vocalization from Pozza. We were really trying to force him.
Avete provato a chiamarlo Pozzo al telefono?
Lo chiamo io.
Continuo a chiamarlo, magari si è addormentato, lo scemo.
They will try to call him on the phone.
Okay, yeah. With that, I think the practice session that we talked about regarding the 3v3s with Winston and DPS versus Diva and supports would try and help both you and, well, you don't really need the help vocalizing, but specifically Poser.
Okay.
Ban, sorry. I have a problem with I poke the Pharah in the game. I can't follow the game and follow the fight because
Se la curi o se le spari?
No, se quando seguo la Pharah, la nostra Pharah.
Okay, when he's flying with his Pharah pocketing, when he's pocketing the Pharah, he's not actually paying so much attention at the ground fight and what is happening.
C'è qualche metodo che posso usare?
If there is something that he can do to improve on that.
So the main thing that I would recommend is I don't know what settings you specifically offer Mercy, but all of the custom settings that you can do, the toggle settings, I've got them the opposite of whatever the default is. So it allows you to jump up to the Pharaoh whilst looking around and still fly whilst healing the rest of your team whilst hovering in midair. It's quite difficult to explain, but
you're talking about the Guardian Angel sensitivity and the preferred
not the
beam.
sensitivity, but the preferred beam. The
okay, so I don't remember what it is, but it's on and off. If you toggle the preferred target for Guardian Angel, preferred beam target or whatever it is, you can fly back to who you're healing without looking at it. If I remember well, that's what you mean.
That's the opposite. You don't want to be flying to the person that you. It sounds counterintuitive, but you want to be able to heal someone whilst flying to other people.
Okay.
Because what that allows is you to be a lot safer and move around the team without changing who you're healing, and makes you a lot harder to kill.
I do have a question about Mercy, but I'm not sure how it works. You can. Sorry, 1 second. Dai.
Pozza ci aveva detto che. Vi ricordate che ci aveva detto che non ci stava?
No. Va bene.
Ah no, è vero.
Sì, ce l'aveva detto, sì.
Ok. So actually Pozza is in Rome and will not join us.
Anche domani non ci sarà.
And also tomorrow.
E domani, quindi dobbiamo cercare un sostituto per domani. Chiusa la parentesi, possiamo andare avanti.
Okay.
Ok.
I don't know how Mercy works, but can you still heal the target over the 2 seconds break time if you are not directly looking at him, but looking at someone else?
As long as your character has line of sight, whether that means even if they're behind you and there's no wall blocking, you'll be able to keep the beam on them.
Okay, so even planar, you just keep pressing mouse 1 on the far and keep looking around without worrying that.
Looking around, and then you can heal the person, like say heal a tank whilst you're floating around in the air still as well.
Ok. Praticamente non devi avere il Guardian Angel bloccato su quello che stai curando, cioè devi poter andare a shiftare qualcun altro mentre curi qualcuno.
Sì, no, quello è già attivo,
ok.
è una cosa che ho attiva.
Puoi tranquillamente guardarti in giro perché non c'è bisogno che continui a guardare la Fara per curarla. Resta bloccato fin tanto che non c'è un muro di mezzo.
Quello lo so. Il problema è che per seguirla in volo io poi incomincio a guardare, a mirare in giro per cercarla e poi, cioè io tengo schiacciato lo spazio giustamente per planare, però poi a un certo punto lei cambia direzione e tu devi cambiare direzione anche tu perché se ti stanno sparando, e per seguire lei io non riesco a seguire il fight a terra spesso.
Ok, guarda, ti ha postato le sue impostazioni di Mercy che potrebbero aiutarti. Comunque è questione di abitudine anche quello, Fra, nel senso che devi imparare a riconoscere più o meno la zona di dov'è la Fara in base a dove sta il raggio e continuare a guardare dall'alto tutto fino al momento in cui non devi rishiftare, allora ti giri verso il tuo raggio e poi riguardi verso il basso.
Poi è chiaro che la Fara dovrà giocare più vicino ai palazzi possibile per nascondersi e stare in cosa, e quello credo che già lo sappia.
Comunque se lo sai, guardati le sue impostazioni.
Vedete su
Ce le ha messe nel canale Rising Gear, no, in Chill mi pare. Comunque se ti guardi questo, chi è che ha toccato il braccio del microfono, ragazzi?
Colpa mia, scusa.
Ok. Se ti guardi quello e le imposti un po' così e poi inizi a farci più attenzione ogni volta che giochiamo, cercando di farci attenzione, migliora. Quello sicuro. Ok, so we saw the core composition tab. We can probably move on.
Yeah, okay. As I said, if any specific player has questions on their notes, I'll keep these updated, by the way, as we go through with doing everything. So just make sure to keep an eye on it, like at the end of a scrim or whatever. Just check it.
Okay. I'm sorry. Last question. When we are playing the dive comp in maps where we require a widow, like we said in Lijiang, do we go with a tracer?
Yep. Well, I was actually in the middle of updating all of this because I went and did a version 2, but I need to copy the Widow Tracer Soldier thing. Needs to go on the Genji as well, essentially.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll copy that right now. So like that.
So we go with the Genji, not with the Tracer?
Yeah, preferably.
Even in Lijiang Garden?
So this is where you would be. So there's a based on the hero that you've got. So Lijiang Garden, for example, you would want to start Pharaoh Widow or Pharaoh Tracer, and if that fails, you would then move on to say a Soldier Tracer or a Soldier Widow or whatever, because that's what you're more comfortable with at the moment. Once you've got a Genji, you'd want that Genji Widow Tracer. Or Genji and Widow War Tracer.
Okay. That's it probably. If I have more questions I will ask later, but for now...
Yeah, no worries. So have a read over this. If you've got any questions, ask later or even DM me whenever. Let's move on to strategy planning, because this is the big one that I want you guys to start doing. And we can do them during these sessions that we have as well. So if we move over to that tab, the cyan blue one.
L'ultimo in basso a destra è strategy planning.
Strategy planning, ok.
So on here, what this allows you to do is create full compositions and strategies, as well as what you can change to if it doesn't work. And what it allows you to do is also point out individual focuses for people to do. So as an example, I've filled in the players and the heroes on the first point, default triple tank attack. And you can see there that it's just the standard comp that we've been running recently.
Yeah, okay.
Specifically Zarya coordinating bubbles with Ryan is one of the jobs that I've filled in there, as well as there's a couple swaps there if you need to swap around the enemy comp. So what we want to be doing during these sessions is when we go through a VOD and we say this is the comp that we want to run next time, we'll fill one of these in, and you can go back and look at that before you start the scrim. You can also create notes in the setup and pushes area, and what I want to do really is leave this sort of thing to you, because what I want, especially that setup and pushes area, because it's difficult to communicate with obviously everyone in the team due to the language barrier. So feel free to write all that in Italian if you want.
Well, I guess we can also write double Italian and English. Not a big deal.
If you want, yeah. But we'll still go through all that together,
But
so that's not an issue.
To me, it's still not clear what setup and push is. What should we write in that?
So what that sort of thing is when as an example, if we're going to run something like a Sombra, something weird, for example.
Okay.
What we want to do on HaNaMura attack, what we want to do is say, on the setup and pushes, we're going to wait for the Sombra to get into position by going through the top left window.
Okay.
And flank around the back.
Okay, so
we have a Mei, wait for the wall, and then engage on
Yeah,
the target
Yeah,
wall.
things like that would go in here.
So
Plan.
yeah, sort of general plan. Okay.
Yeah, but
Clear.
exactly. So
Can also be sort of what to do if we encounter certain comp while
yeah,
we
so
are
if
attacking.
you want to make a note of, say, okay, if they're running quad tank and the comp that you've got here already lined up isn't going to work into that, you can say if they run quad tank, we're going to change to this comp.
Okay.
So if you want to put notes like that in, that's fine. That's part of your setup.
Because, for example, HaNaMura specifically in attack, if they do run a Mei, yeah, we always have problem because they wall someone in, or we are not fast enough to go in, even if we play with a Lucy instead of Mercy to kind of stick all together. So we kind of
What
decide.
DPS do you have if you do that?
We decided to go dive, straight up dive, and
We started with the normal triple tank complete answer, and then we tried to switch into dive.
we switch into dive with the Tracer Widow usually.
Okay.
Yeah, we
That's where a Pharaoh would actually come in really useful. So
Yeah.
with that extra, I know you already said confident on that, but we need to start integrating that into the scrims.
Yeah. Okay.
So the comp is Heroing Zarya or dive with Pharah mostly?
Dive with Pharaoh Mercy.
Okay, Pharah Tracer, right?
What was that? Sorry.
Pharah Tracer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay, that's.
What I want to be doing is, if you look at the core compositions again, I've started marking. I know you're both very flexible on projectile and hit scan, but I've kind of started separating it out a little bit, trying to get you onto specifically projectile. I think I've got projectile with soldier on TDK, and then most of the hit scan stuff apart from Hanzo is on most of the hit scan stuff plus Hanzo and Junkrat is on Helios.
Okay.
So trying to specialize you a little bit more. Whilst you have a good range, we want to try and get you onto those specific heroes. Especially, I really want to start running the close encounters one. Is a really good comp if you can get that down.
I saw the Fuel one with that comp when they were really trashy.
Yeah.
That tells a lot.
Yeah, it's a good comp on specific points, and it's not a new comp. It's not one that they've just created. It's been going around for a long time, but it is if you can get it down to a T, it's like a 3 point. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, but if you want to get some May practice in, feel free to.
Okay.
And we can give that a try somewhere down the line. I think we need to work on a coordination before we do that sort of thing now.
Sorry,
No.
can I take 1 minute for translation?
Yeah, no worries.
Ok, Donny, mi traduci diciamo l'ultima parte anche velocemente?
La close encounter comp che trovi nella scheda di Hero Pulse, no, di... non mi ricordo dove l'aveva scritta. No, Core Composition. Quella che gioca con Reynog, Mei, Reaper, Lucio, Moira. Praticamente lo scopo è metti il muro, li splitti, spidi dentro con Mei frizzi e con Reaper ammazzi.
Ok.
Quindi se ti vuoi far pratica con Mei, lui sostiene che è una comp molto forte in alcune mappe specifiche che dovremmo iniziare a farla utilizzarlo.
In pratica io ero il Reaper e tu la Mei.
Ok, e per l'altro discorso riguardo ai DPS in generale?
Praticamente dice voi siete abbastanza flessibili tra Hitscan e Projectile, però vuole che tu diventi totalmente Projectile e Helios totalmente Hitscan più Hanzo. Sostanzialmente.
È questo che fanno ogni team, un main Hitscan e un main Projectile.
Ok.
O giocherei comunque soldato in alcune mappe.
Sì.
Maker. Però abbiamo bisogno di un main Projectile, Antonio, ce lo devi fare sta roba. Se vuoi diventare un flex DPS devi imparare a fare anche questo.
Ok.
Vuoi giocare Zen? Tranquillo.
No, cioè, guarda, te lo lascio tranquillissimamente. Se tu puoi, non so, puoi fare pure. Ma dimmi tu.
Mettiti sotto. Ce la puoi fare.
Sì, no, ci sono, cioè.
Dai.
Ok.
Possiamo andare.
We are
Pronti.
good. But do you feel like we have to do a strategy planning for each one of the map that we do run? Like multiple tabs?
You don't need to do no. You don't need to do it for everyone, but it's one. What we'll probably end up doing is maps that we're struggling with. We'll go through a full VOD review and strategy planning, as part of one session. And then any specific maps that you want to run are slightly different. So say you want to run close encounters on one specific map, you'd probably do a strategy plan for that.
Okay.
So as you said earlier, you were struggling sometimes with the first point of Hanamura. That's something we would strategy plan for.
Okay. Clear enough.
I guess that the close encounters comps works well in of the yields map. Probably.
You can run close encounters on it. Basically is only for control points, specifically Nepal, on village and what's it?
Ilios Control Center.
You can work on Ilios ruins as well, which is also an interesting one. But if you're gonna specifically on that map, if you're gonna run it, you need to play towards their side of the point because you want to use that wall for cover.
Okay. I've seen also in Lijiang Control Center.
Yeah, it can be run in Lijiang Control Center as well.
Also, have you considered something like triple DPS strats or triple tank with 2 DPS, like sometimes they do in Junkertown?
I don't think at this point the problem with these triple DPS comps or single solo support comps is that they require a lot of coordination. I mean, I don't think we're at that stage yet.
Okay.
Because if that one solo support dies,
yeah, it makes perfect sense.
It requires a lot of coordination and protection of your support.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But since you were talking about strategy, I was just curious about that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something we can look into in the future. But that basically sums up what I wanted to go through. If there's any questions, feel free to ask away.
Domande, ragazzi?
No, penso che dobbiamo procedere un pochino passo per passo e vedere come vanno, perché sono cose che dobbiamo provare e dobbiamo mettere in pratica alla fine.
Sì, ma I believe that all this kind of work is not something that we will do in a couple of weeks. It will take us some time.
Yeah, no, it'll take a long time to get this stuff right,
Yeah.
but it's something that as a team, once you get it right, it can be something you. I don't know if you're ever going to do tournaments or if you're just doing it for the fun of it, but if you do end up doing a tournament and you want it, it's basically you can basically pull out a strat and get a free map win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Since we are talking about that, do you? Me and Elias were just talking yesterday, so this is new to all the team. But do you believe that it makes sense for us to participate in something like Go4 or Open Division, even knowing that we will lose and we will lose badly, but just for the experience?
I think Go4 is going to be a bit of a stretch, because what happens in Go4 is there's a lot of high teams going straight in there. You'll lose straight away on the first map and it's only best of one. But something like Open Division, even if you lose the first 2 weeks, you'll start going against lower teams. Or, well, not lower teams, but more on your equal to your level.
Yeah.
And so those weeks following on from that, you will actually get some really good games in. And so I do think it would be worth it.
Okay.
So do you think that Open Division should be an interesting idea to try?
Yeah, I think there's no harm in you doing it. Essentially, is what I'm saying. Whereas Go4, it's probably a waste of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Practice in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Praticamente, ragazzi, ieri sera stavamo dicendo con Elios se aveva senso. Tutto è partito dal fatto che Beauty andrà a farci la Go4 e le piglierà male.
Come cazzo su, vabbè. E
comunque,
lasciando tutto questo, ho detto, ma perché non ce ne ho prima cose? E abbiamo parlato con BanHammer. Lui ha detto, guarda, praticamente la Go4 sarebbe un round, cioè sarebbe una mappa contro team parecchio più forti, quindi non avrebbe molto senso. Invece la Open Division, che è più o meno la stessa cosa, ma ci sono anche team ai primi gironi al nostro livello, potremmo provare ad andarci, perché poi se perdiamo una parte possiamo continuare a guardare contro altri team.
Finché non si paga, per me i tornei li possiamo fare anche tutti.
Non si paga.
No,
per
non
me,
si paga.
Ma non perché è un problema, cioè nel senso, tanto i tornei si pagano una stronzata, da quello che ho capito.
No, non si pagano.
Comunque,
cioè alla fine è tutta pratica, da quello che ha detto.
Cioè stai parlando con uno che si iscriveva apposta alle gare dove c'erano i professionisti, vedere un terzo categoria.
Quindi tutti d'accordo, alla prossima Open Division ci iscriviamo, raga.
Quando sarebbe?
Van, do you know when the next Open Division round will be? September?
I haven't been keeping track of it really, but
Is it just
2's coming up soon, so it'll be around the similar time.
Contenders will start in July. The last round of Open Division was mid Contenders, maybe something like that. So I'm guessing September, probably something like that.
It starts.
Can just check it out.
Oh, season 2 was in April, yeah, and then what's season 3?
Season 3.
Perché niente ci vieta di fare anche quel torneo che non beauty, scusate.
No, ho detto che sarebbe una perdita di tempo perché
è una sola mappa praticamente, con team molto forti, quindi non ha assolutamente senso. Cioè, prendono, ci stoppano e finiamo. Abbiamo perso mezzo della nostra vita senza fare nulla.
Vabbè, sti cazzi.
Season 3 in Europe.
A posto di usare quella mezz'ora per fare quella cosa, più usarla per, che ne so, fatti una mezza screen.
Sì, ha detto palesemente che non ha molto senso perché giochi contro team molto alti per una sola mappa e quindi sei fuori sostanzialmente al primo round, mentre nell'Open Division c'è il sistema che ti va un pochettino di più a pareggiare il livello e quindi ti permette di andare a fare delle partite interessanti, magari anche contro team sulla carta più forti ma del tuo livello. Capito? Season 3 in 2017 started in December, so probably will be December also this year. Oh no, never mind. Season 2 was late, was October.
It'll probably start around July, August. Based on, because I think they're trying to do 4 Open Divisions a year, so that seems like the most logical time for them to start.
So at this point I'm not sure if we will be okay with August, since usually here is holidays and many will not be here, at least not for the whole month.
Yeah, that's fine. But we can look at setting out for season 4 maybe, or whatever comes after, essentially.
Yeah, but still a good idea to try to run for it.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we win. And that's the worst case scenario.
Comunque io ad agosto tryhardo come un bastardo e mi porto il computer in ferie.
Io no, perché non avrò internet, per cui
Io sì, c'ho anche la chiavetta della 3, quindi
non ci posso fare molto.
Io manco ci andrò in ferie, quindi a posto.
Io sto via una settimana, non è che sto via chissà quanto.
abbando le cazzate che vanno.
Comunque, what do we do now? Do you want to look at the VOD, or do you have something else to say about the spreadsheet?
The spreadsheet's fully done now, but we've got an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So if we've got a VOD that you want to review, or we can go into. Oh no, never mind. We can't do that. Yeah, let's have a look at a VOD. We can review them.
Okay. Anyway, basically what you were saying about strategy planning tab, it's what I've been doing in Stat Banana. That is a general approach on what we do in the specific map. Generally, is based on the map talk, specifically in Lijiang that we did last week. So we all can look at it quickly and see what we should do in the first push, or in the retake, or in the defense of the point, or whatever. I've done all what we said, so it's quick, easy, and understandable by all.
Okay, that's cool. Should we have a look at that then?